All right. I want to address three things. Three. One, two, three things about these tank issues that I'm hearing about. All right. Well, one is the tank shortage and geared tanks aren't wanting to be in LFG or do pugs, which I can only speak for myself. That's not true. And that the reason being is sometimes I feel like when doing a group with pugs, specifically heroics, it's like when you're hanging out with your friends are going to give you a hard time. They're going to bust your chops. They're going to act goofy. Versus when you're in a situation where maybe you're dealing with strangers. Like everyone's adults on both sides. Your friends are adults. The strangers are adults. But when you're in a group of strangers, typically everyone's going to act more composed and respectful versus when you're hanging out with your friends and everyone's acting a goofball, right? But that being said, though, if you're having an issue getting tanks to join your pug heroic, this is my advice to you. Let's do a little example right here. What and maybe, I'll I'll say this: if you want a tank to join your group, don't just send random invites. It's giving unconsensual, bruv. I'll decline an instant invite with no message attached immediately, because I like, especially when you're cute like this. Perfect example. No message, nothing, just a random invite. Now I have to do homework and figure out what this invite's even coming from. We're gonna decline it, and then more often than not, the dude's gonna message me upset. Now, of course, was that even the same guy or was that a different rogue? Are you down? I didn't even answer him, and he's sending an invite. No, yeah. See now, after they're not even letting me respond, and it's just invite after invite after invite. More often than not, when I'm trying to do heroic, I won't even list myself. I'll just go in the group. I'll pick something that I want to do, and fill my group through that. That's the first issue. Is if you're having trouble finding a tank for your pug heroic, act better. Just be better. But when I am in a pug heroic, I find that the hunters aren't misdirecting, the mages aren't sheeping, so I can understand why tanks don't want to do it. And that's not like I have guildies that won't misdirect. It's insane. What was the other issues I want to talk about? I'm at a loss. Or I think, yeah, the second issue is groups falling apart in heroics, which kind of is piggybacks off of where I was ending with the first topic. I've only had three heroics fall apart. One was Black Morass because I was in a pug heroic for Black Morass. The healer and one of the DPS were missing gems. Like, you can go to Thrallmar and get stats for a gold 30 or whatever. You don't have to spend 100 gold on a gem, on each gem. I think the DPS was missing like 8 gem slots and the healer was missing like 5. Like, mind you, I don't have epic flying yet, but I still find the time, especially as you get your Prebis or your Karazhan gear or your 25-man gear, you only have to spend that gold one time, right? Why am I pulling this up? I've only had 3 fall apart. So Black Morass, and that was because of ungemmed pugs. I'm going to blame it on that anyway. The second one was Blood Furnace because of negative attitude from a healer. He off rip, and if you find someone in your group being negative off rip before you even do the first pull, just either kick them or get out of there. If you're not the party leader, then get out of there. The third one being AC, because Alkanite Crips, we were trying to do a skip. Everybody wants to skip all the way up to the first boss, or the bridge by the first boss, whatever, or the room before it, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It didn't go well. People started leaving, and I left too, and the rogue just started just hurling insults at me through whispers. It's insane. So that, like, 3 heroics, and I got badge gear. I got 52 badges in the bag. I got badge helm, badge shield, badge ring, badge trinket. I think that's it, because I haven't been building my DPS badge set. So if you find that your groups are falling apart and it's the tank, and then you want to blame it on the tank or whatever, it could be multiple factors. So I guess that for the second topic, I'm just sticking up for tanks, because I don't really know what to say other than that. And the third issue being threat. I've seen a couple videos so far talking about paladins and pharaohs having the run of the mill when it comes to not suffering through LFG or finding groups. As a warrior tank, I'll do it again. I have no issue. Look, I could whisper look at need a tank, need a tank, need a tank. And then again, this guy. Random, don't stop doing that. But if you're, speaking of warrior tanks, if you're a warrior tank without engineering, in my opinion, you're griefing. And maybe this is another reason I don't have epic flying. I won't buy fell iron bombs over a gold. It's anywhere from 55 silver to 80 silver for me. I'm buying 50 at a time. Because if you're not using fell iron bombs, but also, that being said, I can only do so much. More often than not, when a group is going sideways, it's because, specifically this. It's a LOS pull. I'm trying to get it away from a certain point in the dungeon, around a corner. Warlocks are throwing up their dots. Shadow Priests are throwing up their dots. The Hunter is multi-shotting without a misdirect. No traps. People are going apeshit before I can even get the targets around the corner. It's frustrating as a tank to then be blamed, like, where's the threat? Where's the threat? I never had a chance. But even with that being said, I don't even have groups fall apart because of that. As a tank, you need to speak up and say, hey, and this is why more often than not, I'll be the party leader, because I like to do ready checks, especially at the beginning of a dungeon. Sometimes people just leave to go to the bathroom or grab a drink without saying anything. It's crazy. But if you're a tank, always be the party leader. Try to be the party leader so you can do ready checks, so you can do pull timers. If you're running DBM, I don't think that's in the game, but I think ready check is, but not pull timers. I could be wrong. But back to threat. There are so many times where I'm in a dungeon where hunters aren't misdirecting, where warlocks are throwing up dots before I can even, I can't throw my grenade down when a mob's over here on this guy, over here on this guy, over here on this guy, and then, like, the mage will, like, Nova everything in place, and it's like, who do I start with? I'm running around, and now let's say the aggro got on the healer because for some reason the DPS couldn't wait. Healer pulls aggro from healing aggro. That's my first thing I gotta get to, right? But now I'm losing threat on the other mobs, and now the DPS is dying. Stop blaming the tanks for threat. Chill out. Now this point leads all the way back into my first one when it comes to messing around with LFG. If you're going to, for one, stop sending empty invites. Also, if you want a tank to come to your group or have you be invited to their group, stop rogue specifically. Stop whispering me the word rogue. Like, I think most of us play with class colors on. So when you whisper me, I can see that. Most people play with add-ons like Whim, so we can just click, like, we know what you are. Stop whispering the name of your class. It's strange. It's irritating. It makes no sense. The number one people I invite to my groups when I'm looking are rogues who will kick, will sap, will expose armor, anything like that. Hunters will misdirect, can trap. I'm playing this spec, but we'll do this and that. The number one offenders of sending gear score are warriors, warlocks, and rogues. Rogues and warriors will often just link their weapons with, like, maybe we can get it to pop up. It's probably going to be the same rogue trying to invite me random again. But that being said, man, I keep seeing these videos about tanks and a tanking issue and a tanking scarcity. Maybe it's the way the community is treating tanks that makes the problem exacerbated. You know what I mean? Like, more often than not, like, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do heroics and come down and again, like, that's kind of a good group though, to be honest. See, this isn't the worst scenario because he sent the invite with a message very quickly. But unfortunately for this guy, I'm just trying to prove a point. And, you know, this is the morning, so there isn't going to be a lot of activity of people just sending me random messages or lack thereof messages. But the tank scarcity might be exacerbated due to the fact that when I'm coming on the game to have fun, it becomes unfun very quickly. When I'm just getting random invites, weird messages. I mean, what was it the other day? A hunter sent a random invite. I declined it. And then he started messaging me like, what's the problem, bro? You're queued up for this dungeon. Why don't you come? Is it because of this? Is it because of my group comp? Like, let me know like, I don't owe you an answer. And they always want to get mad after you decline the invitation. They don't want to send a message before like, hey, man, have you had a chance to look at the group comp? Would this work for you? Can you come tank this heroic? No, it's only after the fact where I decline the message that people want to get upset with me. And this is from my perspective, a warrior tank perspective. I'm different. I know I'm different than a lot of people. Maybe all the other tanks don't mind getting random invites and they just want to get in a group and we'll figure it out later. It doesn't matter what heroic I'm tanking. Let's go. But for me, I'm never queuing for this many heroics. I'm like picking AC, ramps, slave pens, steam vault, anything that I can get done within like 45 minutes, right? So when I'm queuing up for 5 done, and not even then, a lot of times I'll specifically just put one. Like, all right, I'll tackle AC first, get it done. Boom, go to ramps. Boom, go to slave pens, underbox, steam vault. Boom, boom, boom. There isn't a tank shortage. Maybe, you know, and it's easy to think that there's a tank shortage when the tanks are hiding. You understand? Even as a warrior who has badge gear, Karazhan gear, I don't have any 25-man gear yet because, you know, we're not loot council. I'm barely playing my alts because I love my warrior so much. I'm having fun on my warrior. I'm questing, doing all the quests in all the zones, trying to get my gold up. I keep seeing these videos, tank shortage, tank threat issues. Just treat your tanks better. Treat your tank. That's the real takeaway of this. Is be considerate. Be considerate of threat. If your groups are falling apart because the tanks and healers are leaving, more often than not, it's because of impatient DPS. So, you know, if you need, you know, all that being said, I'm doing heroics. I don't want to say every day, especially this past week. It's daylight savings. I've just been tired after the day. I haven't been on. Tuesday we do Karazhan. Wednesday, last night we did Mag and Gruels, and it was 10 o'clock at night. You know, I played for like 3 hours. I was questing, did raid, 10 o'clock. I'm beat. I'm off. This weekend, I'll be doing heroics. More likely than not, I will be doing heroics Friday night. It's Thursday now. Maybe if I don't cook dinner tonight, I'll do some heroics. But if you're struggling to find a tank for heroics and you need badge gear or you need to farm a certain heroic for that epic off the last boss, hit me up. I'm on Twitch. Shameless plug. Just treat your tanks better and we'll treat you better. Respect given, respect earned. Have a good one.